Speaking of pigskin, Donald Trump, in his ongoing effort to distract us from the fact that he doesn't want Melania to see the Epstein files, went after Rosie O'Donnell again. She said the president looked great and presidential alongside our stunning first lady, who was, as usual, dressed perfectly for the occasion. And she's right about Melania. I don't know about stunning, but she definitely looks stunned. Show them together, because this is the happiest I've ever seen these two together. It's like they're on their...
Trump dreamed of being remembered as a statesman, a titan of politics, a figure carved into marble by history. Instead, he stands as a walking comedy special, a man whose biggest export is punchlines, not policy. Melania, by his side, once imagined herself as the picture of grace and dignity. But instead, she's cast as a reluctant extra in a sitcom she never auditioned for. Together, they represent a reality show presidency, one that Kimmel slices apart into late-night fuel, laugh by laugh.
It's Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and J.D. Vance, who all sat there and applauded while he sucked down lobsters like a walrus. It was a big night for Trump. This is the first meal he's had in like 5 years that didn't have the words extra value in front of it. But imagine, he sends in the National Guard. There are hundreds of troops on the street, and somehow they let a 34-time convicted felon just waltz into a restaurant. No question, Trump's infamous Diet Coke button is back. He's also got, this time he's got a chalupa cannon and a McNugget knob, too. And he has another little button to lock the door when he hears Elon coming. Elon Musk reportedly badgered Trump into giving him an office in the West Wing. It's kind of a tough situation for Trump because, on the one hand, you know he can't stand this guy. On the other hand, he needs his money. It's what they call a Melania's...
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Kimmel doesn't waste energy inventing insults when reality is already absurd enough. Trump sells himself as a master deal maker, yet the only deals he ever seems to close are with his own reflection, promising greatness while delivering nothing but chaos. Melania is painted as a modern-day Jackie O, but the illusion shatters when every public appearance carries the energy of someone trapped in a weekend seminar they cannot escape. Their contradictions shout louder than their slogans, and Kimmel highlights every misstep with surgical precision.
Before I share this, I'd like to remind you, this is a post from the President of the United States. He wrote, as previously mentioned, we are giving serious thought to taking away Rosie's citizenship. She is not a great American and is, in my opinion, incapable of being so. Here's the thing, whenever he's spitting out, he goes back to Rosie. That's his safe space. He zeroes out. Calling her fat is what makes him comfortable. Meanwhile, she's about half.
Every Trump speech feels like the teleprompter is working against him. He hypes victories like a carnival barker, pitching snake oil with the confidence of a man convinced his audience remembers nothing. Kimmel doesn't even need to craft a gag. The sight of Trump praising himself while dodging accountability is already the punchline. And then there's Melania, sitting close by with the look of a flight attendant on her 8th straight shift, forcing a faint smile while silently begging someone to land the plane.
Seems to have other interests too, because this morning she announced a contest, the likes of which have never been seen in this country before.
Thank you so much for congratulations on birthday. I am touched and so smiling. And now you can be touched too. Introducing new contest. America's Next Top First Lady Wife.
The myth of Trump as the tireless fighter collapses when filtered through Kimmel's lens. Instead of a warrior, he comes across as a man auditioning for applause, pounding his chest while secretly praying no one checks the receipts. Melania's supposed image as a strong first lady fades into long silences, icy stares, and carefully measured words that suggest anything but solidarity. Kimmel doesn't have to pit them against each other. Their lack of chemistry tells the story all on its own.
This photo he posted looks really more like him than her. Rosie O'Donnell. How can someone so old be so childish? It's Benjamin can't button his pants. You know, we talk about how much time Trump wastes playing golf. He seems to be spending a lot more time posting dumb AI videos lately. Our governor, Gavin Newsom, has been roasting him online, and so now Trump...
The comedy only deepens with Trump's obsession over crowd sizes and ratings, numbers he treats as sacred while ignoring the details that actually shape people's lives. Kimmel mocks the absurdity of a sitting president bragging about attendance figures like a band refusing to admit their tour is tanking. Melania's role in these moments is reduced to a half-hearted clap or a smile so stiff it looks borrowed from a wax museum. Together they stage the optics of grandeur. Yet beneath it all lies the awkward truth of a mismatched pair struggling to hold up appearances.
Russia, China, and North Korea combined. He's done a lot of tough talk. He posted the following words. He posted, "Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War." And then when a reporter dared to ask him about it, he shouted her down like she was his son Eric peeing in the pool again.
Are you declaring war on Mr. President? Are you trying to go? Yeah.
No.
Are you trying to go to war with Chicago?
When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why
I
would
don't
the
go to
Department
war.
of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our city. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill.
Kimmel tears into Trump's so-called financial genius, turning his bankruptcies into constant punchlines. The mogul mask is ripped away, exposing him as the king of failed casinos. A man whose empire is remembered more for collapse than creation. And Melania once again becomes part of the act, standing beside him in photo ops that look less like partnership and more like stage props. The wealth they flaunt feels less like substance and more like costume jewelry, shiny from afar but hollow when seen up close. Melania's presence in these spectacles feels almost theatrical. Her carefully blank expressions are read as silent auditions for an entirely different role. The supposed portrait of unity becomes instead a picture of quiet resignation.
Last night, he posted a whole string of deep fakes, including these.
Hey, look at this! Trump! But thank God, the hostile takeover of Donald Trump!
Yeah, that's what he was meant to do, repost videos with his head pasted on a man whose thighs don't...
Trump's endless feuds are nothing but fertile ground. Kimmel ridicules the way he picks enemies with the eagerness of a child choosing opponents in a video game, bragging about victory even when no one else is playing. Melania often gets pulled into these fights, not as a strategist, but as a backdrop, a reminder that the spectacle is meant to look like family, even when it feels like bad theater. The laughter hits because the chaos is self-inflicted yet dressed up as triumph. The irony of Trump's communication style alone provides endless fuel. He rambles, contradicts himself, declares the impossible as inevitable, and somehow still manages to leave his supporters cheering while the rest of the world stares in disbelief. Kimmel calls it the art form of confusion, a stream of nonsense that would be thrown out of any writing class. Melania's role in these moments is often to look like she never agreed to join this improv show, yet she's forced to nod along as if the madness actually makes sense.
Position as Donald's wife. But now it is time to pass torch to new partner. This could be you, but you must fit following requirement. Beautiful in face and body. Wear fancy hat. Don't give a about Christmas stuff.
What is about Christmas stuff?
Feed Eric little mealworm pellet every day. Read book to the children. Thank you, America. Now I give you 2 weeks notice until time I am leaving on Air Slovenia blimp. Have good marriage. Do not text or call, you will not find me. Congratulations to next America's next top first lady wife. Be best, bitches.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
You know what? He's getting on just in time.
Even their so-called displays of unity turn into punchlines. Those hand-holding moments, caught on camera where Melania pulls away or stares off, get replayed as symbolic bloopers. Trump, desperate to show intimacy, reaches out for affection, only to be met with Melania's cold shoulder of the century. Kimmel doesn't need to exaggerate, it's already sitcom material. The so-called first couple radiates less warmth than a late-night convenience store, and people laugh, not because it's cruel, but because it's impossible to miss. Trump's obsession with rewriting history turns into pure comedy gold. And Melania, painted as the silent supporter of these grand tales, looks instead like an unwilling editor dragged into a book she never wanted to publish. The gap between their claims and the reality is so blatant that no punchline can soften the sting.
On Saturday, Francis Ford Coppola posted this AI-generated image of himself to celebrate his invasion of Chicago. Someone made this and called it Chipocalypse Now with the caption, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning." This is normal, right? Both sides do this. So you remember when Obama declared war on Orlando? totally normal. You know, for a guy who dodged the draft, he sure does love fake pictures of himself in battle gear. He's a real AI Joe when it comes to the internet.